Hey guys, welcome back to the craft room. Today we are going to continue on with our Star in the Window quilt. This is my day off from work, and guys, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I need to put a little bit of water in my iron, I think. Go ahead and get that on. We're getting hot. And we are working on this guy. And I have the center section done, so now we're just putting the frames and the borders around. And I'm going to scoot you back for just a second and tilt you down. See if I can tilt you down without making my tripod get me. We're also going to try to utilize the light today. Now I've got me some water. I'm prepared. Got me some water. Okay, let's set that bottle down there. So what this is telling us to do now is we're going to cut some of the fabric, which I have all laying up on the sewing machine, because there's the center square. I'll take down all the fabric. Okay. And let's see what the pattern says to do now. To make the frame around the star, we're going to cut 2.5 inch strips from bonus quarters 3, 4, and 5. And I did number my fabric and follow the next steps for assembly. So I'm going to pop you off there, guys, and I'm going to put you up on this one, and I'm going to try to utilize this guy here, and we'll see how that works better than this little tripod. So this is kind of a testing. We used it the other day while I was cleaning, but this is going to be for cutting and sewing. Let's see how it goes. Okay, I've got you set up down on the table, and the pattern called for 2.5 times 21 strips from our bonus quarters. So I have give them a little hit with the iron. I have laid them out on my mat. I have staggered them pretty much the way they were in the package, and I am just cutting my 2.5 inch strips. And this will be number 4. Making sure I am right. Now I'm just keeping them separated, like so, and then one more. So half, 1 and 2. Count it twice. Okay, so there are my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My 5 strips, right? Cut 5 strips from bonus quarters 3, 4, and 5, and lay up using the charts. Follow the next steps for assembly. Okay. Get you out of the way. All right, so now we have our square, and it says we're going to take 3 and a 4. So a 3 and a 4. 3s go across tops, 4s go across the bottoms. And we're actually going to do this just like we did. And I am going to have to wind a bobbin here in a moment. The other quilt we just did, the placemats we just did, where you leave a tail, that's what we're going to do. Where's my pin cushion? I am going to pin it so I don't lose track of where I'm at. And remember to leave about 1/2 inch. I am out of bobbin, so I'm going to pause you guys and rewind my bobbin, and we'll come right back. I'm going to flip this guy over, and number 4 goes here. Okay. And my cat, Sam, is wanting to go outside so bad. He's in the meowing. But we've been letting him go outside in the evenings when it's cooler because he is an indoor cat. He usually does not go outside on his own. But we've been letting him go outside in the evenings off his leash. And now he's all to pieces. He wants to go outside. What is it? Okay. So now you have the same little configuration we had when we did our placemats. You have this guy. So all we're going to do, I'm going to finger press this. He's wanting to go out, so I'm going to kind of just finger press it out. I'm going to lay him over, and we're going to finish sewing. Okay, so now we have this corner. I'm going to do this all the way around, just like it tells me, just 3 times around, and there is, you know, the pattern that they're using. I am following the pattern. So I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll be right back, guys. Okay, our next step was to take our background fabric, and it says to cut into 1.5 inch strips. We will have to piece these together, and once we have, I'm just going to piece them all into one long strip. Maybe, we'll see. And you're going to go around. We're going to add a little border to what we just made. That's what it looks like. I'm just chain piecing what I have here. I think I have an odd number. And I hope I have enough because I did mess up on my cutting. We'll find out. We'll find out where we are, what we did, if this is going to be enough. If it's not enough, I have some background fabric floating around somewhere we can use. And on these, I'm just going to press the seam open, not to the side. Make sure my cutter is. So I'm just going to open up the seams. I know you guys can't see that, but it's just opening up the seam and pressing it open, just like that. Okay, guys, this is where we're at. I've added that 1-inch border all the way around. Here's what my corners are looking like. Kind of that braided look. And there's my 1-inch border all the way around. She has been ironed. She's ready for the next step. So the next step is, it looks like we're going to make some chain pieces. Excuse my squeaky chair. I got to get me a new chair. Out of our mini charms and our regular charms. And I do have a lot of this left over. I don't know if we're going to need that. I'm going to lay it on top of the sewing machine. But it looks like we are just going to use our charm squares and our mini charms. Okay, set aside the remainder of the bonus quarter in fabric 1 and matching 2.5-inch squares that contrast with the fabric. Let's see, fabric 1 for the border and the quilt top. To extend the quilt top, use 5-inch squares, which this is what I have left, and 8 2.5 squares. Lay up the squares alternating a 5 and 2. Okay. So we're going to alternate squares. Like we're going to take this one, and I would use 2 different ones like this. Okay. Catching the groove there. So I am not going to, I know this is kind of directional. I'm not going to worry about which way it goes because I didn't worry about it in the quilt. And we're just going to put a seam in this. And I need to turn my machine down. Okay. And I'm just going to finger press this guy open. Hit it with the iron, just a hair. And then we're going to sew this to this. And it does show you will have overhang. You will trim that overhang. And my stomach is starting to growl. All I've had today is a cup of coffee. So, yeah, that's all I have had. There we go. That looks good. Okay, so I've made a chain long enough. And it says to find the center of my fabric, which I did. I folded it in half. Just like this. Fold it in half. Get your little half here where it's folded over. And I just take my nail and kind of mark it. And there is my center. I've got paper or bits everywhere. Because it says... The bottom of the square will be longer. Yes, trim off the excess. Center the row on the top of the quilt. Right sides together. It will be slightly longer. Pin and press. Trim the excess off the sides and repeat. So first of all, I need to trim this guy. So there is our overhang. And scoot you out of the way. Okay. Get you out of there. Okay. And we're going to trim one more. Okay. Now I want to find the center of this guy. Actually, I want this in the center, so I'm going to center this square here and hope that I'm going to try that. See if I can get that to work, and if it doesn't, I'll sew another one on. So there is my centers matching up. All right. This is when I say I don't have enough room. There's my center. And it pretty much lines up with that too. So I'm going to pin it right here. And yes, this comes out to the end here. And yes, this comes out to the end there. So I can actually take that off. Didn't even need that on there. And we're going to sew it down. Line up my edges here. You guys can't see. I keep wanting to tilt the phone, but when I do that, the phone pops off. So I gotta teach myself not to do the phone, to do the little bar you're sitting on. Here's my pen. Almost to the end, guys. And okay. So now here's the next border. Let me get it flipped around for you guys. There is what the next border is going to look like. All right. Nice. It's coming along nice. I need to make up more borders and get them on. And then we're almost done. Okay, so the top and the bottom border is on. So it goes patch, double patch, patch, double patch, patch, double patch, patch. And I still have to trim this off. I need to... Is that thunder? It has stormed like every day. Every day it has stormed. And it'll rain for like 15, 20 minutes. And it's just like, okay, I'm done. there we go. And then you trim this little bit of excess off. On these sides. Okay, and this is what we have. Okay guys, we are putting our cornerstones on. What I did, I had all this extra yardage that they so kindly sent to me. This is what I used instead of using the little bits that were left, because I really like this material the best. So I have done a strip on top and bottom, one strip, one 2.5 inch strip. Okay, and I have taken one of my strips and put one of the 2.5 inch squares on the end, and now I'm going to sew. Let me start up here at this end because I'm right-handed. I'm going to put this to this and try to match up my seams here. My fingers don't want to work today. That actually looks really good. Watch me pin it and sew it, and it'll move. It'll shift on me. Okay, so I'm going to put a pin right there just to help me hold it in place, so I can get it to my machine. Say, girl, don't get too ahead of yourself now. And actually, I'm going to flip this one down because the other seam was going the same direction and I want them going in different directions. It's hanging a little bit off there, but I might go back and fix it. I might not. Like I said, I'm not OCD. Anything that's handmade is going to have imperfections. That's just the beauty of being handmade, but I think it's fine. It overhangs just a little bit. It is almost 3 o'clock and I have not had food at all. I'm starving. I am starving. So when I get down here to the end, I'm going to have to measure and sew on another cornerstone. And that is going to be the tricky part for me. I'm going to turn this guy up just a hair. Yes, I sew slower for better accuracy and control, but daggone. Okay, when I start getting close to here, I'm going to take my nail and mark where that's at. I'm going to backspace just a hair. I'll bring this up. Okay. And then I'm going to pick another 2 piece and so right, or a pencil. Do I have a pencil available? I got a pen. I'm gonna make tiny mark right there. And I'm going to take, where's my scissors? And I'm going to cut a 1/4 yard-ish away. Okay. And now I'm going to use my nail to mark where I want to sew. Get you up here where I can get you even, which is harder than it looks. Okay. And if these don't line up, I'm going to be sad. But as long as they're close. Okay, I could take out a little bit more. Take out a little bit more. Looking to see if they're going to meet. Oh, good grief. Let me see. More. I can get more. I think that did it. I think that one did it. That one did it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is cut some of this excess off right here. Of course, scissors is going to go in the trash. All right, guys. I'm going to get these cornerstones sewed on, and that's going to be it. All right, guys, that is it. That is... the star in the window is done. The cornerstones are actually really easy once I figured out how I wanted to do them. Once I got to the end, I just folded my cloth down and made a mark. And then I made a mark for a 1/4 inch seam, and I cut my fabric at the 1/4 inch seam, and then I just sewed on my little block and then sewed it all together. The cornerstones are easy once I figured them out. But this is it, guys. This is the block, or the quilt top. And I don't know yet if I want to add more borders to make it a little bit bigger. This will be a very pretty wall hanging. I'm still snipping little rope threads and stuff that I find. But it's done. It is done. It is done. And it was actually pretty easy. It's pretty easy. Because, I mean, if I can do this, y'all can do this. Because, I mean, it takes me a hot minute to read the instructions. Like I said, you guys, I am a visual learner. I learn from, like, watching it being done, not from reading it on a page. So, for me to be able to finish this, I'm very happy. I'm very proud of myself. And you guys have seen me bind a quilt before on other videos. You've seen me do some machine quilting on other videos. So I'm not going to do that on this one. We're going to call this one done. And we will be starting something new. I don't know what yet, but we will be starting something new here very soon. Probably my next day off, because I'm going to let my hands rest today for the rest of the day. But that's it. I'll see you guys on the next one.